What's going on, guys? Stefan here with you at S&E's Garage. Today we are in the garage here with our Sportsman 570, and we are going to be installing a OEM Polaris light bar wire harness, part number 2882320, to go ahead and power our new light bar. Now, I didn't want to do a video of installing the light bar and the harness because there's so many different light bars out on the market. They're all mounted a little bit differently. Just to show you really quick, we just mounted this here to the factory mounting locations here on this bumper. We ran our power wire through here, so you'll see it sticking out here on the other side. So now we're going to go ahead and install this OE wire harness. Now, I went with this original equipment harness for a couple of reasons. Number one, I don't have to cut and splice anything. Number two, it integrates into the factory cluster area very nicely. It's just going to go in one of these dead switches here. And then number three, it powers up with key on, so you can't accidentally leave the light bar on and kill the battery. That's important to us. We actually just installed one of these on our 850. This video will work for the 850 as well. I'll show you there are a few minor differences, but it's nothing major. And everything's listed in the directions anyway, so this video should just be a nice guide for you. So the first thing we're going to go ahead and do is move this harness out of the way. We're going to go ahead and open this up, and that is going to show us basically the battery area. And in here is where we're going to be doing a lot of our work. One of these connectors here, the orange with the white chaser, is going to be one of the wires that you're going to be looking for to give the new harness the key on signal, so it'll plug right into that. The wires are here and easily accessible. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and figure out how to remove this, just like that, pull it up. With the 850, there is going to be a clip and 2 screws. Again, a couple minor differences, but now we can go ahead and remove this headlight hood with a couple of Torx picks. I believe it was a T25, but I'll let you know in a second. So these 4 screws are going to be a T25. We'll go ahead and remove them, like so. And then we'll go ahead and pull the hood straight out, basically towards the front of the machine. And this will come right out. Now you can go ahead and pick one of your knockouts that you're going to use. We're going to go with the bottom one. So again, just push that right out. This knockout will pop right off, and you'll see right there is your hole. So we're going to go ahead, open up the harness and install our switch there, and then we'll start routing the harness. Now the switch is very, very easy to install. The marking here with the light is going to be on, blank is going to be down, so we're going to put the light facing up, and you'll see clicks right in. So now we're going to go ahead and open our harness, and there are 2 leads here that are going to plug into the back of the switch. Those are these guys here. So we're going to come here behind the hood, and then we're going to go ahead and slip them onto the spades of your switch, like so. And then we're just going to route this whole assembly here down behind the headlight, and we're going to do our best to follow the factory harness. Just make sure you leave some slack for when the handlebars turn and things like that. You don't want to make this too tight, but you do want to mimic the routing here of the factory harness. Now at this point, I am just going to very loosely here begin to zip tie the harness to the factory harness. I want it to follow that path, and then we'll create the slack as we need to allow for the pivoting of the handlebars. All right, so after you got this zip tied kind of the way you want it, the next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna go ahead and find the part of the harness that is the lonely spade. It's gonna look like this, it's just this spade hanging out. And you're gonna grab one of these wires behind the battery that I showed you. and you're going to plug this in, and that is going to give this harness keyed on power. So basically there's a relay here in this little module. This relay will activate once the key is on. Now in the directions, they're telling us to drill a hole somewhere in here to mount this thing. That's not necessary on my machine. I'm going to go ahead and connect it right here to the battery tie down. That'll keep it nice and sturdy, and then I can go ahead and tuck some of these wires up, around the battery so that it looks neat. And at this point, we can go ahead and take our positive and negative leads here for the battery. You're gonna have a positive and a negative here. We can go ahead and connect them. You're gonna disconnect the negative first, then the positive, and then reconnect positive first and then negative. Now once you get all that situated, your next job is going to be to route that gray connector that you see right there with this wire down through that hole. And you're gonna wanna pop it out right there, right above the shock tower. And then you can go ahead and plug your light bar in, and then nice and neatly zip tie your wires out of the way. We do just very quickly need to go ahead and zip tie these, make it look nice, but let's go ahead and test it. So we're gonna go ahead and turn our ignition on, and when I flick my light bar switch, you'll see the light bar turns on. Now, if I turn the key off, the light bar will turn off. That's gonna prevent you from draining your battery, but you can also turn it off with the flick of a switch as well. And once you're at this point, it's basically just a game of putting everything back together. We went ahead and put our hood back on. We put this panel back on. We did have to rotate this from this location to this location because this was contacting it, so now it doesn't. And now we can go ahead and shut the hood, and we're all done. Let's just go outside and show you the way we did it on the 850, just so you can see it. It is very similar. The 850 is out over here. Let's go ahead and walk over to it. So with the 850 or the what they call XP machines, the main difference here is this luggage tray, if you want to call it that, is removable. So you'll just go ahead, unlock it, and remove it. And once you get to that point, it is all very much the same. Again, you have the same terminal here, red, white chaser. On the 850 or the XP machines, this is where you mount your fuse and relay panel, and then the rest of it is pretty straightforward. It's a lot easier to route the wire for the light bar itself, but again, it's going to plug in right about the same spot near the shock tower, and you'll be good to go. And we did use Lasfit light bars for this. I'll leave a link to these in the video description below. They're relatively cheap, they are super bright, and we're happy with it. We did just have to route our wiring on this one a little bit different. We went up through this vent hole here instead of the hole in the bumper, because obviously they're being used on this machine. All right, guys, that's going to be it for this video. If this video interested or helped you, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. The only thing we are going to do is we're going to bring this Allen key out with us, and we're going to aim these as needed. It looks like this one might have to be pivoted up a little bit because it was kind of pointing at the ground. But hopefully this helped you install a 12-inch light bar on your Polaris Sportsmans. Again, we did go with the Lasfit. They look very nice, they fit very nice, and they add a whole lot of well-needed illumination out of the front of these machines.